Hi, my name's Nikki, aka Kiwi Cruisette. I'm currently on a 48 state USA motocamping trip. I wanted to touch on a question that I get a lot of, which is what electronics do I have on the road and how do I charge them? So I want to share the stuff that I've got. This might help give you a good starting point or things to think about when you're packing. The first thing is safety equipment. This is the most important stuff. I have a Garmin InReach. It's an Explorer Plus. This is a satellite texting phone. This has saved my butt. I got a flat tire in Yellowstone and I was able to text a friend who ordered a tow truck for me. So I can't call on this phone. A calling phone costs way more. This is already kind of an expensive plan to be on, but I wouldn't go anywhere without it. I didn't have service in Yellowstone. I could not use my regular phone. One of the other upsides of this phone is it has constant tracking, GPS satellite tracking, which means my family can see where I am at any moment in time. This also helps when someone's trying to call a tow truck for you. They can just log into the link that I've sent them and they know my exact latitude and longitude. In addition, it has maps. So if my trusty paper map or my Google Maps is not working, I can always use this here. You'll see it's on a carabiner. I always have this on my person. I don't know if I'm ever going to become separated from my luggage or my bike, so I want to make sure that wherever I am, this phone is. One other thing I forgot to add about the Garmin InReach is it has an SOS button. If I find myself in a situation where I need emergency help, I can pull away this side flap. It's protected so you don't accidentally push it, and push this button. This will alert local authorities that I need assistance, and it's also going to send a message to my emergency contacts. So thankfully I've never had to use this, but it does give me peace of mind. I have had a friend use this when they happened upon a head-on collision when they were in an area with no service. So this can be used for other people's emergencies as well. This is a battery jump pack. I've had to use this already 4 times on the trip. You might not have the same sort of setup as I do. I've got aftermarket fog lights on my bike, and if I roll in late at night to a campsite, occasionally I'll forget to turn them off in time. They drain my battery really quickly, which is when I have to jump the bike to start it again. This is by far the most common breakdown that I have, so for me this was essential. My Bluetooth wireless earbuds for music, for podcasts, these last about 8 hours. Occasionally I'm driving longer than that, and so I have a backup. My sine intercom, it's like just a little thing here. This, it acts as an intercom. If I was riding with another person, I could talk to them via my inbuilt earphones, but I'm not traveling with anyone at the moment, so I use this to listen to music and podcasts. The thing that I don't like about this is that it's contending with the wind in my coming up in my neck, or maybe my visor's open, so it's not as clear. I use this as my backup. Anything that can be charged with a USB is much easier for me to charge than if it requires a wall outlet. So the majority of my things here are USB. So that just slides back on. My Kindle. I haven't been doing a lot of reading, but obviously this is a better alternative than weighing yourself down with big heavy books. I think this holds 8 gigabytes worth of books, which is an incredible amount. Now, you may have noticed I'm also recording my trip. I have some videos out on my YouTube, and a lot of people ask me how I capture my footage when I'm traveling alone. So I have a couple of things that I do. The first thing is I have my drone. This is the Mavic Air 2 DJI. Now, I have a habit of losing drones. So I have put a Tile GPS tracker on mine. So you'll hear it makes a little sound. It tells me that the battery is going fine in there. I don't actually need to charge this. You also see I've put my number on. I've obscured it for this video, but in the instance that I was to lose this and someone else could find it, they would be able to contact me by calling this number. This drone needs to be charged with a wall outlet. So you'll see I have 2 spare batteries here and they plug into the wall. Also the remote, this needs to be charged as well. The other way that I capture footage is on my phone. So I have a mini tripod. It really is teeny tiny, and I screw it into this phone holder, and it can pivot, so I can take portrait or landscape. And the cool thing about this tripod is it can wrap around tree trunks or anything really. And I will set a 10-second self timer, and that's my Instagram post. I also have my laptop. This is how I edit my footage. Again, we have a wall charger. I just have a MacBook. It's pretty lightweight. The only accessory I really carry with this is my card reader. I make it a rule to empty my GoPro and empty my drone every night. And where do I put it? I put it onto my external hard drives. Now these are exactly the same. If one of these was to break, or I drop it, or I lose it, I still have the other one backed up. I cannot stress this enough. This will happen to you. I have lost a lot of footage already on this trip just from doing silly things like accidentally formatting my GoPro. And speaking of my GoPro, I'm recording on it now, so I can't hold it up, but this is one of my cases. This is the other way that I record my trip. Now inside my helmet, I have a hardwired microphone that I plug into my GoPro, and that's how my audio is so clear when I'm on the bike and talking to the camera. And I also have a lot of GoPro accessories. So GoPro accessories tend to snap and break over time. I make sure I always have spares, and I have different ways to mount the camera. This is my chest mount. I can wear this like a harness. We'll attach the GoPro to my front. I also have a favorite clip accessory, which is the gooseneck clip. Now this can clip onto my handlebars, it can clip onto my lights, it can clip onto anything that it can fit its mouth around, and it has a swivel on it, so I can get almost any angle I want from that one GoPro mount. I also use a microphone when I'm recording or doing interviews. This is a shotgun microphone. It allows for directional sound to be captured, which is to say, whatever I'm pointing at, I am capturing the audio and I'm eliminating the sound around the back of it. This is battery powered, so I make sure I have spare batteries on my person. Another electronic, I guess we could call it, is my battery powered socks. So these are the battery units. If I get cold feet, and by the way, I haven't had to use these yet, but I'm anticipating as I ride into winter I'll need to. These have an input. I just plug it into the battery and my feet are toasty. It's already heating up. So this here gets charged with a wall charger. This is my third item that I charge with a wall charger. So you can see I have a lot of electronics. My philosophy on charging all of my electronics is to use, when I can, my power bank. This is a 20,000 milliamp power bank. It can charge my phone a couple of times, my GoPro batteries. I have 2 spare ones here that I plug in via USB, and it can charge my headset all overnight. And I'll wake up and I'll still usually have about half of my power bank left for the following night. When I can't use my power bank because maybe I've used all the inputs, or it might be empty, I have an alternative, which is my inverter. So this plugs into the cigarette lighter of my motorcycle, and you'll see here I have 2 USB outputs and I have a wall outlet. So this allows me to charge my laptop, which cannot be charged via USB alone. It also can charge my drone. Number one, it needs to be well ventilated, and it needs to be plugged into the bike when the bike is running, preferably moving. This baby will suck out all the battery power if you were to just plug it in and not turn the bike on. So it's really important that you don't leave yourself in a pickle, or else you might even need to use your jumper pack. The other important thing to look at when you're buying an inverter is you need to be careful of how many watts it is. So I have checked my drone and my laptop, and both of them do not exceed 100 watts. So I know that this 200 watts is going to be sufficient. But if you were going to plug in an appliance, some of them require a lot higher wattage. So you would want to make sure that your inverter is powerful enough to charge the device that has the highest wattage. You can Google that for more info. I only really know the basics of this. Now, if you're buying an inverter, you need to be looking for a pure sine wave inverter. What this means is it's going to give you the most high quality electrical output that won't damage your drone or your laptop or whatever it is. If you get a modified sine wave inverter, these output square waves, which can damage your equipment. You don't want that. So for a pure sine wave inverter, I recommend that you go to a marine store or an RV store. They tend to stock those. I'm going to show you a typical setup that I would have running if I was going to edit a video with my laptop. I wanted to show you guys how I do some work when I'm on the road. If I'm editing a video, find a shady spot and plug in my laptop into my inverter, which is plugged into my cigarette lighter input, and the bike is running. This is how I do work on the road. All you gotta have is